Hi everyone, the Mature Simmer here. So welcome back to Train Simulator. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to run the third part of this Alaska scenario as we just kind of continue through in one direction, and then, likely I assume then some other scenarios will take us the other way. But as you can see here, it says in part 3 we will depart Grandview after coupling to the recently repaired freight car. Then we will return northbound to Portage. The scenario begins with 1,000 points, and you may receive deductions based on your driving skills. I'm assuming we're still going to have the executive with us, but we'll see how this all goes. Alright, talking to our special guest. Welcome to aptly named Grandview, Alaska. It's the high pass through the Kenai Mountains and was renamed by the legendary Alaska Nellie, who provided meals for the route's construction workers. Originally just named Milepost 45, she hung a pennant on her front porch saying Grandview. This long siding was originally designed for the reassembly of long coal trains that were regularly split in order to make it up the grade. Alright. So, let's see. We're here to pick up a freight car that has been repaired in place. RIP. We'll find it at the south end of this siding. So, let's see. Let me go ahead and pop in here before we take off. So we have to couple 5465 at Grandview RIP, and then stop at the siding. Alright, so let me take a peek here. Alright, so I'm gonna have to figure out where to go. Or wait, no, I wanna go the other way. So I wanna go forwards, which would make sense, to the front. Alright, we can only go 15. So we're just gonna have to kind of be careful here. Just right around that turn is where we're headed. This is a relatively, for what we've done, a relatively short scenario in that we've just got 45 minutes or so to get this done. So it shouldn't be too bad, but hopefully, will be fun to partake in. Yeah, even this, like, it's just hard to figure out how fast to go or the best way to do this. Because right now, like, as soon as we decrease, we are slowing down, but there are the cars that we're trying to couple to. And then I think we're going to end up turning around and going the other way. So there's definitely some challenge here in that we've got an uphill, a 1.7 grade, so this is not a nothing, that's for sure. Now this looks like it's going to flatten out here, so we'll see how this goes. Yeah, but it's just slowing down over and over. Now we're 0.2, so this should hopefully kind of get us there. Wow, this is definitely a bit of a challenge. Let's see, if I keep it at 13, will that at least keep us moving? Not really. So I don't want to go too fast. But obviously we need to couple up here. So, not much. But that should hopefully get us to where we need in a bit here. So, should be coupling up anytime. Alright. So, now we return to the north end of this siding to wait for Anchorage Control to grant us permission to return north to Portal. You want to change cabs for the rest of your trip. Alright. So we'll pop over here. we want to go forward this way, but we have to remember we're going to start heading downhill like pretty much immediately. So if we take a peek, we just close this off, but there we go. So that's what we got. Again, right now we haven't hit the grade, but we will shortly. So I think, yeah, if I go up to 42, that looks like it's slowing me down a bit. I think I have to drop this all the way down to not have any brakes, but then you can see it starts to roll. So I just have to be careful that I don't go too fast. Well, we're going to have to stop on Grandview Siding North. I assume there's going to be a train coming or something, so we're kind of getting where we need to be. Alright. So yeah, the track is connecting right up there, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to stop. Alright. Obviously we got to hit the brakes a little harder. Again, we're going downhill, but we're going to go ahead and stop us here. So there we go. Now we've got the time, but I think we're going to have to wait for something to clear us. Yeah, here comes another train. So I'm assuming we're going to have to just wait for that. I don't see any other way to do it. Alright, light engine 2001 at Grandview calling dispatcher. Dispatcher
responding to light engine 2001 at Grandview. Go ahead.
I picked up the RIP freight car and I'm seeking permission to travel northbound 3 blocks, tunnel to Portage. Alright, so now Whittier North. I understand that I will hold at Grandview Siding North.
That is correct. Dispatcher out.
Alright. So we'll just wait here. Obviously we've got a little bit of a train. I thought it was ending, but it's kind of that weird view you get, like when you're waiting for a train at a crossing too, and you're like, oh yeah, I think I see the end, and then you realize, no, I really didn't. And we know how these go normally. I mean, they can have some pretty lengthy trains coming through, so, because yeah, now the locomotives have gone through. There we go. We've got a helper right in the center here. So that is probably close to the middle of the train right there. So we're just going to need to keep waiting. And it looks like Portage Creek is almost 17 miles away. So we're going to have a little ways to go here, that's for certain. But obviously none of that happens until we're able to go. So you can see right now, like I mean it said 45 minutes, it's more than 45 minutes at that time setting. So I think we probably did the portion that we went to collect the car pretty fast. But if I look at this list, like we're done with half of our steps. Now we're just going to go via Portage Creek, and then we're going to stop at the Portage Y. Now I do think we see the end. I'm assuming it's gonna give us clearance, but it might not. Because they did just tell us, like, where to wait, and then we can go. So I assume we don't have to wait. What I'll have to check, however, is center where I am here. Alright, because we're actually... Alright, now we're good. So we do have to manually change our siding.
Dispatcher to Whittier North at Grandview. You are granted authority to proceed 3 blocks, tunnel to Portage. You will hold at Portage Y.
Alright, so there we go. Exactly kind of what we knew, but we did get
That is correct.
notified.
Dispatcher out.
Oh. Alright. So, end. Now, I'm trying to remember if we are able to go quicker once we get on there or not. I better slow myself down, though, before I get in trouble. Alright, so we can go 25. Again, we've got a 2% grade here. So what I don't remember is are we kind of retracing where we went, or is this continuing further? I would imagine it's continuing further. But it's always a little challenging to know. I mean, we are getting closer, so we're headed in the right direction. I mean, not that we didn't know that. We knew this was the way we needed to go. But the challenge ends up being, again here, how do we get a happy medium where we can keep moving, but where we're not going obviously too fast. But this ends up being why there's the challenge of losing points, because it probably becomes far, far too easy to do that. But it's one of those, like, until you fully release the brake, like, it doesn't release the piston at all to release the brake, so you've got to go all the way down. But my thing is, like, I think if I go to 34, well, maybe that'll work. No, we're speeding up, but we're speeding up a lot slower, so. And then, you know, obviously if the grade gets slower or less pronounced, maybe we'll be okay. But at a minimum, this allows me to kind of run the brakes this way. And now we're kind of, well, we were flattening out. Now we're going up again. Alright, right now we're holding steady, going down a bit. And the scary thing is, all of this time, all of this motion, we've finally gotten half an hour. Or half a mile. I know what I meant. Alright. So 36, because now we're just at a 1% grade. So let me go release this again. And let's see if I take it to, say, 24. Now we're still slowing down. So we'll let that go. Now let's see. So 16 doesn't do anything. Neither does 21. It's like 24 is the first time we're really applying the brake, and it does slow us down. Whoops. I always do that. I hit the wrong key. Alright, so I'll drop this down, but then I'll get myself closer to 25. And then I'll go ahead and hit it. Now obviously the key is if the grade suddenly changes again, which it is, then we're going to have a different problem. So let me get myself back there, and then I should be able to get myself to 34, and then hopefully slow it down enough. Maybe not. Alright, we'll increase the braking because now we're at 2%. .2%, so now it's even a bit crazier. Let's see, 47. No, we're slowing down. It's just not a great place to put these brakes, obviously. Alright, back this off because now I've gotten myself down to 14. That's too far, although, well, I need to be at 15 in half a mile, so. So this is why, as you can see, it's going to take us a little bit of time here to get where we need to go, because we are not able to go too terribly fast. Come on. Alright, so 30%, slowing us down a bit. Not sure that's quite enough to slow us down where we need to be. So we'll go ahead and obviously crank that brake up a bit. Because again, we're going to drop down, but we're not going to have that ability. Let's see. So we are slowing down a bit again. Definitely a bit of a challenge here heading downhill. So 0.08. Alright, hold on. It's hard to get that brake to kind of go up enough. So bad thing is I don't see anything faster for a bit, but this looks like, yeah, this is something to do, again, a bridge we're crossing over or something. So we're at 2.8, 2.6, but yeah, definitely a really tight turn. I'm sure now we're going to be able to, we're going to start rolling down pretty fast. You just got to give yourself enough time to get the brake engaged. So, pretty tight turn there. And again, heading toward a glacier there, it looks like. Yeah, this one definitely keeps you pretty busy. Trying to control the train and just being careful that things don't get out of hand, because it kind of gets stuck moving on up. It's not that smooth. At this point it looks like it's slowing us down, so I'll just leave it here. And then when it's appropriate, I'll make the change, but just going down 1/10 of a mile an hour every few seconds is not too bad. But we're at a 3% grade. Yeah, I don't think I've been through here. I don't remember this steepness of the grade. It looks like we're going to that cut, I'm thinking, in the rock over there. I think that's where the river is that we were near. So maybe I'll let myself get down to say 8. And we'll open it up and let it coast down. No, we're not going through that cut. We're turning further. Alright, so let's release. And yeah, it starts rolling pretty quick. Yeah, 55's too far. I just kind of need to figure out what the appropriate strength is. 47? Eek. I think 47 might have been okay. Just I went up further because I was getting so close to speeding. It almost seems like we're going in a circle. Can't imagine we're coming back under ourselves, but wow, I'm starting to wonder. It's certainly a pretty big loop around, that's for sure, whatever we're doing. Alright, so let's see, 43. This'll work, because now we're slowly creeping down. So let me see if I take a look here, and then swing out. So yeah, so we in essence did like a 180 degrees. Yeah, almost. I mean, that's where we came from, so yeah, we're definitely meandering down here, and I think it was just, yeah, trying to avoid the river is what was happening there. But yeah, we came down from there, so definitely not an area we've been through. Now, if we got to come back here, which I think is some of the later scenarios, this is probably going to be a pretty good haul, especially if we come through here loaded. Alright, so it looks like 50's too far. Alright, 38's pretty good, but we're slowing down faster than I would like. I just wonder if there is a way on the actual trains to really kind of get yourself to a point where you can control the braking and the throttle enough that you can just maintain speed. It just doesn't seem to be possible with everything I keep running into here. But it just doesn't seem reasonable to assume that this is what they're always doing. Alright, 44. Alright, we are slowing down again. Because, yeah, all that loop really did was get us about a mile. And we're now kind of coming back around here. So we came from up there, down here. So we're definitely traversing the valley a bit. Now we'll be flattening out some, or at least straightening out some, I should say. Just not sure if it's better to get slower and then kind of let myself glide a little bit longer. But then I seem to be rushing to apply the brakes, so I don't really know. Like I said, it'd be nice if I could find something that would stop me and just keep me at a certain speed, but it doesn't seem to be possible. So let's see, I was at 44, now I'm at 42, now we're still slowing down a bit, but this is at least more reasonable because it's taken quite a bit to get me to slow down, so I get several seconds between each tenth of a mile difference. Alright, so you can kind of see where we're gonna go. We're crossing the river again, I guess. Just, you know, there's a pipe or something connecting it because you can't really see a bridge. So yeah, it looks like it just trickles through there. And then we'll kind of go around this little outcrop here. So kind of turn to the left, turn back to the right. But at least at this point, this is a little bit closer to what I was talking about, where yeah, I am still slowing down, but you know, I've only gone a little more than a mile an hour slower since I set that brake. So this is more what I would like to keep landing at every time I open the throttle up and then turn it back on. Again, perfect solution would be to find something where I just stay locked in at whatever speed I'm at, but it seems to be eluding me. But yeah, just a really slow, methodical run down out of the mountains. So hopefully our passengers enjoying themselves and enjoying the slow traversal through the terrain. I think these tracks are banked a little bit. It feels like they are, but it's just a little bit funny that way because, you know, we're only going 11 miles an hour. You know, and our speed limit is 15, so it's not like we can go much faster. It wouldn't seem like we'd need banking at this speed, but I don't know how they come up with the grading or whatever. And it could cover, you know, maybe there's different types of locomotive that'll go through here and different types of rolling stock that then would allow something different in the future, maybe, so they kind of future-proof it and say, well, right now we don't need banking, but we're going to put it in so that in the event it is necessary, then you have it. So we went from 2.8% grade to 2.9. We seem to be holding steady on the speed now. It'd be nicer to hold the speed at a higher pace, but just not sure I'm going to be able to get back here and that it won't just change a quarter of a mile down the road. Alright, so we did slow down a bit, but obviously sloughing off the speed is a lot less than it was. So let's see. I just don't know that I'm going to be able to get 20 or 42 again as easily. Alright, I'll try 41. Come on, really? 41's letting us creep up, so 42 doesn't, but 41 does. See, and then 44 is like too much. So you wouldn't think those small increments of the brake mechanism would be that impactful, but clearly they are. So we'll just again take a look at the valley where we came from. So yeah, I'm not sure. It might be there. That was the loop. Whoops. I don't want to stop, but I guess I got low enough. Got low enough that, oh well, we're flat. That's why. Interesting. I didn't realize we were flattening out, but we did. Alright, so let's move a bit. Just keep an eye on the grade again. Because yeah, now it's 0.3, we probably can maintain the speed a little bit better. But yeah, quite a ways to go. At 15 miles an hour, this is going to take a long time. But I'm assuming we're going faster than that because we have 12 to go, and well, but it's almost telling us it's going to take 30 minutes, so not sure. Now the grade's increasing a little bit, 0.5. So it's just kind of one of those quiet runs because there's not a lot to share. I think the last one was like this too, so I think that's what Alaska is. Just enjoy the slow-moving scenery, and we'll get there eventually. Looks like there was a little siding there. Whoop. So again, trying to pay attention. So we'll go to 33. Will that be enough? Not quite yet. 38. 38 is too much. Can't win for losing. But yeah, this is where I think some of the challenge comes in, is obviously the changing grade on the various levels and so forth is going to make it, you know, something we really need to pay attention to, because we have a very small operating window. Only 15 miles an hour doesn't really help, and alright, at this point we're slowing down less than we were because the grade is increased again. Now it's slowing down again. Now we're to 1.6 instead of 2.3. So you can see now we're back to 2.7. So maybe once the whole train gets on there, it'll start to, yep, it's starting to accelerate. But we'll keep an eye on it. Because I'm sure it'll flatten out just as quickly. So that's what, end. Alright, end carp, camper car, no, carp block, begin plaque block. So remember, we were asking for clearance for 3 blocks. I don't know if this is the first block. Alright, just gotta be careful that we don't slow down the whole way again. I don't think we're in any real danger of that, given that we're on again, a 2% grade here, and certainly moving along. So, get ourselves to 42 again. It's too much. Looks like we're heading to a tunnel. A little bit of a trellis before, or a trestle before that. Trellis is something else. It's not usually something a train's going over that I know of. Alright, let's see. 37. Right now we're maintaining. Alright, we're slowing down a bit. But again, a much more bearable type run. Now we're just going to be in dark for who knows how long, because this does not look like it's a short one. Let's just take a peek of what we got. So kind of a gorge area. But we'll head back into the train here, because pretty soon there's not much going on. Alright, let me turn on the light. Oh, it's not that long. But we go to another one. So just a few fissures in the rockway. But looks like we can see the exit already. Although this one is longer than the last one, but yeah, an exit and then right into another one. So we've just got a series of tunnels here. Grades staying pretty consistent. Alright, so we got a little bit more daylight here between one tunnel and the next. But I think as we're going down the mountain, it's just requiring some more, tunnel work, obviously. Alright, so I'll probably be pretty quiet until something worthwhile comes up. There's not really a point in just chattering to chatter. Alright, so we're within a quarter mile of being able to speed up a little bit, and more importantly, almost a half a mile from being able to frankly double our speed, which will be nice, because then we'll be able to move along a little quicker. We'll be less than 10 miles from our next checkpoint at that point. So kind of maintain that 2.1% grade the whole way. Yeah, we're gonna hit that a little quicker than we would have liked, so let me be careful here. Because yeah, I'm not even sure at 15 if, you know, we've got a mile an hour leeway or not. So let's see, hopefully here I can just let myself drift, because we're not that long of a train. I can't. I'm gonna go over if I'm not careful. It's amazing how fast things speed up. But there we go. Now we're finally able to go to 20. We'll go that extra speed for the little bit here. Get ourselves to the 30 a little bit faster. But again, just gotta be careful of what's going on. 43 seems too much, even on the 2.8% grade. Although it's better, so I'm probably just gonna leave it at this point. We're close enough. It's really not worth losing some operational points just to gain a few seconds here or there. Alright. So we'll let it go. This should hopefully be okay. That looks just like a bridge. We might have the same problem. It's going to be really close, but not what we want. Amazing again, just how quick it goes. So, alright, but we'll let ourselves get going closer to 30. Hopefully we won't have to change that speed anytime soon, other than for the better. But yeah, this feels like we're flying now. Alright. So it's like maybe if I can get to 38 or 39, that would be a little bit more conducive. It looks like we're flattening out down here, so there we go. We'll back this off. So we in fact are doing exactly that. Actually at 0%. Because yeah, with only one car, it gets pretty easy to just start accelerating right away. So we'll let that go. But then, wow, we can go 49 for a time. So clearly we're getting to a little bit less of a meandering path here. But I'm guessing we're going to slow down again, or we're going to get there really, really early, which should be okay. I mean, we were cleared to go when we were allowed at that point, so it's not as if we took off early or anything. And we've just been very efficient in keeping our train kind of at the top end of our speed options, so it's all well and good. So we'll back this off. 1/3 of a mile. I think we're finally starting to see the sign come into play there, the speed indicator. But with only one car and 2 locomotives, like this, certainly it's going to be pretty easy to get up to speed there, so I do have to be careful that I don't still speed because I'm pushing it too hard. Alright, and this I think is the end of the plaque block, and then probably entering some other block that I can't read. So I was going to say, now the lights aren't helping me in the daylight here, so turn that off. Just keep an eye on our speed. Guess I better make sure, am I going downhill at 0.5% or uphill? I suppose it could be either. It's just a matter of how much. I'm just going to leave it at 13. There's no real reason to go crazy with it. Just don't want to make a mistake. That would be sad. Alright, so we've ended another block. So like I said, I'm confused because that seemed to be a really short block. Alright, now we're going downhill again, because now we're at 1%, so again, very easy to make mistakes here. But very straight track right now compared to what we've been on for quite some time. Alright, so 24 is a bit much. Let's get ourselves down again. Alright, well, we knew 24 was too much. So again, went up, and then it doesn't matter that I go down because it won't really do anything differently, although it released a little quicker. I think we're just at 0.7. Alright, so we're kind of going at a better speed here. 0.5. Alright, well, we're getting down to 6 miles. Thinking we're still going to get past those mountains that are straight ahead of us, though. Can't imagine those are within 6 miles. They're probably a lot closer than that. Now we're almost down to flat, 0.2. But my concern is, again, I don't want to get myself too close to 49 and then we suddenly flip over the edge of something and then I'm speeding before I know it. So if it goes on for a bit, because there we go, we're down to 0.3. Now we're at 0. So nice flat area. We're going to speed up a bit. Just keep an eye on the grade. Get myself maybe to 47. Alright, back Back off the throttle there. It's good enough for now. But yeah, we've got like 1/10 of a mile going pretty quickly as far as the distance, so this is a good pace. But yeah, we're coming up on that mountain that I felt was there, and so yeah, it's not even 2 miles away. Alright, but now we've got a little bit of a downhill, so just keep an eye on what's going on, because again, that can just roll over and take off faster than we know it. Tiny little streams here and there throughout the valley. Obviously all the drainage from the hills would have to get to the river and so forth to flow out. Alright, get ourselves to 13. We'll move along once again. Maybe get ourselves back to 47. Now we're at 0. Maybe we'll even push it to 48. Better be careful. Looks like we're suddenly going from 0 to 0.7 very quickly. So again, this can change before we know it. 3.5 miles. Looks like another little bit of a bridge coming up there. So definitely a lot of streams through here. Another one again. You can just kind of cross one and then see one pretty quickly. Now it's possible we're gonna be able to keep going straight toward that mountain and just hit our distance before we get there. I think that's gonna be close, because I think that's a good distance away. Staying at the 0.5% grade. Alright, now we're flat again. So we'll give ourselves a little bit of more giddy up and go. Slow down. I don't know why that just suddenly jumped and showed up out of nowhere, but it did. So, get ourselves there. So again, I don't want to blow by, but again, I'd rather probably not slow down too much faster than I need to. So, looks like a bit of slowing down for the last 1.5 miles or so. So maybe right around that turn. All right. Ourselves a bit of a break, because obviously it takes a little bit of distance here to slow down, and I don't want to overdo it. There we go. down to 30. Doesn't really look that different, but I'm sure there's a reason. You know, maybe it's one of those that we're going to come up on the town. We are obviously coming up on the Y. You know, we're only a mile away from that, so you don't want trains barreling toward each other at a junction like that either. So it may be nothing more than that. Because grade obviously doesn't appear to be changing, but yeah, we've got a mile to Portage Creek. So let me just pop up what we have here, center us where we're at. Alright, and we're going to show the task. Alright, and then the Y is a little ways up, so alright. So we'll just let it do its thing, because it looks like we're going to have miles after that still. Alright. So get past this siding. And then not much further down the track, and then we'll be past Portage Creek. Oh, got a car over there. I don't know how much traffic we've had on any roads that have been near us. Didn't really notice it till right now. Alright, I'm going to speed up a little bit, because again, we're slowing down a good bit, but we're flat, so no real reason not to be a little quicker if we can. Looks like another little stream trestle coming up. But yeah, we're like 3.5 minutes fast, which is not a bad thing to be in most cases. The Portage Y actually isn't that much further away, so we can already see that. So less than half a mile from here, so we're actually pretty close. We should probably be there before 11:15. Okay, the bridges we just passed over carry the meltwater outflow from Portage Glacier. We'll be stopping ahead to get authority to move on to the Whittier branch and reset the switch onto the Y. Alright. So we're probably going to want to stop in that little bit there. So we'll go a little further here. And now we'll start. So we don't want to overshoot. And that at least is a bigger target now that we're going slower. So yeah, I'm not sure if we're going to actually move on to anything over there. I mean, it's where we want to be is Portage Y, but I'm not sure if that's already going to move us over by the time it looks like it will. And then we'll just be waiting. Maybe not. Maybe we'll just be waiting on the main section here. So again, I'll try to get the whole train. But there we go. That'll stop us, and then I'm sure we'll wait, and I think the scenario ends here. So hopefully we will get our full contingent of points. Again, we are early, but I don't know that anyone complains too much with trains being early. We're not on a commuter rail. So there we go, end of part 3. The scenario will be continued in part 4. So, did get our 1,000. So, excellent run. Pretty relaxing, you know. I mean, it certainly was some stress to not create a problem, but as far as, you know, someone just observing or so forth, hopefully it was fun. So, we're done with what we can do here, and I will see you next time.